So with the recent release of Security Breach's DLC, Ruin, one of the many questions it tackles in the base game was, which ending is the real ending? To know that answer, we need to summarize what new info Ruin gave us that hints on which ending really happened. First, we open multiple gift boxes that contain comic pages that showcase one of the different endings of Security Breach, except for the Princess Quest ending. We see newspaper articles about the Pizzaplex being destroyed by an earthquake. We see the Blob, or Tangle as the game files call him, has escaped the FNaF 6 location and is above ground. Vanny's mask is left in the Pizzaplex. All three animatronics are shattered. Glamrock Freddy has no head and is left in Phaser Blast. We see Vanessa and Gregory on a hill, like in the Princess Quest ending. The Burntrap room is intact and not destroyed like in the Burntrap ending, but the outside of the pizza place is destroyed. Burntrap does not appear at all in Ruin. Alright, so how do we interpret all this? Well, I think it's pretty obvious that the Princess Quest ending is the canon ending, since the Princess Quest 3 arcade is beaten and destroyed. Vanny and Glitchtrap don't appear at all in Ruin. There is no comic page about the Princess Quest ending, so all of the other endings are made up by Gregory, Freddy being headless and left in Phaser Blast, and in the Brazil ending we see Vanessa and Gregory on the hill eating ice cream. So yeah, the Princess Quest ending is the canon ending. But I don't think it's that simple. Don't get me wrong, I do think that the Princess Quest ending is the canon ending, but there's a lot of loose threads that are left unsolved. First, all three animatronics are shattered, but to get the Princess Quest ending you only need to shatter two of them. Freddy having a prototype label, the Blob/Tangle escaping the FNaF 6 location, and Burntrap's drastic change back to the Mimic. So what really happened? What are the answers for these questions? Well, first, how did the Pizzaplex go to Ruin if the Burntrap ending didn't happen? Well, fake Gregory tells us that something tunneled out and broke everything. In the base game, there was a message informing that the Pizzaplex is possibly built over a sinkhole in Roxy Raceway. So when something tunneled out from the sinkhole, the whole Pizzaplex fell and crumbled. What tunneled out was most probably the Blob/Tangle, since we see him in the upper surface. The three band members are shattered. To get the Princess Quest ending, you need to play the two previous Princess Quest games, Shatter Glamrock Chica and Shatter Roxy, then you go to the exit and choose the Vanny route. But in Ruin, Monty is also shattered. So what happened? Well, I think canonically Monty was already shattered when we face Vanny. Because when we reach 6 AM in Security Breach, we have a choice to either stay or leave. So maybe Gregory stayed, shattered Monty, then went back to the exit to trigger the Vanny route. I think canonically you have to shatter all three robots to get an accurate Vanny route. Because we also see in the cutscene itself that Freddy has Monty's claws. So at this point, all three robots were shattered when we face Vanny. Speaking of shattered robots, is the Freddy we see in the Phaser Blast area our Freddy or a different Freddy? On one hand, why would Steelwool add a prototype label on Freddy's foot when he didn't have it in the base game? And why does Freddy have an unopened gift box when Gregory already opened the gift box that was inside Freddy in the base game? On the other hand, why would a random Freddy be headless, have Monty's claws, and be left in Phaser Blast, the same place we left Freddy's body in the Princess Quest ending? It's too much of a coincidence to just be a random Freddy, so I think the Freddy we see in Ruin is our Freddy, and the prototype label was just added to throw us off. Now let's talk about Burntrap. Ever since the DLC released and the Princess Quest ending was revealed to be the canon ending, some theorists came to the conclusion that Burntrap is like a what-if character. Like if Gregory didn't kill Glitchtrap in Princess Quest 3 and instead goes down to the pizza place, the Mimic would turn to Burntrap. But since we canonically kill Glitchtrap in Princess Quest 3, Mimic stopped mimicking Afton and doesn't turn into Burntrap. I personally disagree with this theory, since we see that Gregory did see Burntrap at some point to be able to draw him. I don't think he can make up a new design for Springtrap with the Blob, a character we know exists. We also see what could be a piece of Burntrap's costume on Mimic's face, and also the same hand. And in the epilogues of Tales from the Pizzaplex, Mimic has rabbit ears, and is presumably merged with a character named Kelly, wearing her corpse, which is possibly the corpse we see on Burntrap. So the Mimic in the epilogues could fully become Burntrap at the end of the epilogue story. But at the moment the last Tales book isn't out yet, so we'll just have to wait and see if Mimic does actually become Burntrap or not. So for now, I think Mimic did become Burntrap at some point. And for the people that are saying that Mimic and Burntrap can't be the same because they're too different from each other, just remember, the Mimic can change its body to fit whatever costume it wears. It can shapeshift. It even turned into a 9-legged spider in the epilogues. So if it can't do that and change its body so drastically, I don't think it's a big of a stretch to say that he can turn his body to look like Springlock Endo. Anyways, so how did Gregory see Burntrap? Either Vanessa described it to Gregory when she went down there, or when Gregory and Vanessa returned to the pizza place to contain Mimic, it was in its Burntrap form. But how and why did Burntrap go back to the Mimic? Well, I think the Blob did still attack Burntrap and heavily damaged it. We hear fake Gregory say that something grabbed it and wouldn't let it go. While yes, it could just be a lie, I think there's some truth to that. Burntrap was grabbed by the Blob and wouldn't let go, but it eventually does. And since Gregory defeated Glitchtrap in Princess Quest 3, the part of Mimic that was mimicking Afton was destroyed, and Mimic then changes and shapeshifts its endo to remove the Spring Bonnie costume and a lot of the flesh to look like how it originally was. So with all of these questions answered, let's piece together the definitive security breach ending. When the clock reaches 6 AM in security breach, Gregory has a choice to either stay or leave. He decides to stay and decommission Monty to stop him from hurting anyone. Then he and Freddy go to face Vanny.
Disassemble Freddy.
Gregory then goes to Vanny's hideout and plays Princess Quest 3, and finally kills Glitchtrap. Gregory sees that Glitchtrap's control over the Pizzaplex is vanquished. He takes Freddy's head and leaves with Vanessa, now free from Glitchtrap's control. Meanwhile, the Blob gets very angry after being also freed from Glitchtrap's control and attacks Burntrap, heavily damaging it. The Blob then escapes and goes to the surface. The Pizzaplex is destroyed in the process. Mimic, not mimicking Afton anymore after Glitchtrap's destruction, removes most of the Burntrap stuff and repairs itself. Fazbear Entertainment tells the media that it was an earthquake that destroyed the Pizzaplex, and they try to repair it, but they eventually give up and leave. Gregory and Vanessa return to the Pizzaplex and seal Mimic with concrete and a metal door. They also create a security system called Mexis to keep Mimic inside the sealed room and to prevent it from taking control of the Pizzaplex again. However, they didn't realize that Gregory accidentally dropped his walkie-talkie when trapping Mimic. So, Mimic uses Gregory's voice to lure Cassie and free it. Then, ruin happens. And that is the definitive security breach ending. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll see y'all in the flip side.